Hey YouTube, Pchild here, and today we finally got patch notes for Season 22. PTR 2.6.10 is officially going to drop. Finally, next week, we're going to get the juice. So let's do an initial reaction video. They just dropped a couple minutes ago, so I'm going to record my initial reactions. We're going to read the patch notes together. In case you don't have the ability to pull them up and read them, you can listen to me read them, and we'll go over it, talk about it, and see what's going on. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and bell notification icon so you don't miss an upload like this, because we're going to have a lot of videos coming out detailing some of the PTR in the patch notes. But without further ado, let's get in there and check these notes out. PTR Focus and Details will be conducting the patch 2.6.10 PTR and phasing content and updates over the course of 2 weeks, starting Thursday, October 1st, which is a week. Yeah, it's a week from yesterday, so a couple days from now. It says, during this time, there may be periodic maintenances, outages, hot fixes, or minor patches. This time around, testing will consist of 2 phases. Phase 1, October 1st. During this phase, we'll be introducing legendary set item changes. And then phase 2 on October the 8th. And this phase will be adding seasonal theme content. So they want us to test all of the legendary sets before we get introduced into the seasonal mechanic. Phase 1 content will persist throughout the entirety of PTR. Phase 2 content will be an addition to the existing content. There will be 2 PTR unique buffs active to help you on your way. This is pretty normal. Increased legendary drop rate and double blood shard drops. You can also buy gear from Dank Meme, who has been there for the last couple PTRs. Pretty awesome. It lets you definitely test things, and you can buy legendary items. Usually they have bags that have all the things that have been changed to even help you specifically target that. Class changes. To ensure that the most significant class changes receive an ample amount of attention, we'd love for you to focus testing and feedback on the wizard changes around etch sigils and hydras, the Crusader's steed charge build, and the witch doctor's crazy chicken build. So it looks like they're focusing this patch on Wizard, Crusader, and Witch Doctor. No Monk. So that we can effectively review your posts. Feedback should be provided in the PTR feedback forum, while bug reports should be provided in the PTR bug report forum. So that's really cool. They got 2 separate PTRs for you to give your feedback. That's really cool. Make sure you guys give feedback in that PTR feedback forum if you do get to test the PTR. PTR testing tips. As with our previous PTRs, testing period is short, so it's best to hit the ground running. Whether you're a PTR veteran or a newcomer, we thought we'd pass along a few tips to get you started. Provide your feedback, blah, blah, blah. Kind of the same stuff. Let's get into the juice. Where's the juice? Seasons. The shadows. They are moving and they seem animated. It is as though they had a will of their own. Whatever this trickery is, perhaps you can use it to your advantage. Let's see what the demons say when you fight side by side with your own shadow. That sounds cool. Shadows of the Past. Activating a shrine pylon will spawn in a clone of your class. This clone will randomly have 1 out of 3 predetermined builds. The clone's power will scale with your character and will last for 1 minute, or if your character dies. Or until your character dies, I think is what that should say. See below for the shadow clone variations that can spawn when activating. And then they list all the classes and all the builds. So let's just dump down to, let's just look at Wizard, because Wizard is probably a class that's going to be super focused on this PTR. There's a build variation that has Arcane Orb, Frozen Nova, Blizzard, Ice Armor, Black Hole, and Ray of Frost with Snow Blast. So this is like a cold Frozen Orb style build. That's kind of cool. There's a build variation number 2 that has Meteor, Arcane Orb, Obliteration, Explosive Blast, Black Hole, Energy Twister, and Disintegrate. That's interesting. And then there's another one that has Arcane Orb, Obliteration, Disintegrate, Wave of Force, Slow Time, Energy Twister, and Meteor with Star Pact. Oh, wow. Wow, oh, wow. Depending on how strong these are, I could definitely see RNG playing a factor as to which build variation you get and what pylon you get and what rift you get. This seems like if these do some decent damage, this could be Fish Central all over again. Sounds really cool. Little scary, but sounds really cool. Depends on how much power they have. There's a whole bunch, man. I'll let you guys look at this, and you can look at all these classes. If I don't touch the class that you're interested in playing next season, you can just pause the video and read what you're going to get. Another interesting seasonal thing that they're going to add is the Kanai Cube. Additionally, the Kanai Cube will have a 4th slot this season. This 4th slot will have the choice of the first 3 slots, but will not stack with any of them. The intent is to provide players with creative and flexibility to their character builds. So you're going to get a 4th free legendary power of anything this season. This is going to be pretty insane for a lot of classes. Again, I think this is going to juice Necro up to the insane levels. So this is a really big seasonal item, man. The Kanai Cube additionally is going to have that 4th slot. That's anything that you want. Pretty interesting. Pretty cool. Items. Hedrig's gifts now grant all class sets. I don't think they mean that they're going to give you every class set. It's just we have a new rotation schedule. So they're going to add the additional new sets that they haven't had in the past. This upcoming season, depending on which class you choose, Hedrig's gifts will reward you with Horde of the 90 Savages. This is the new Barbarian set, the new Crusader set, the new Demon Hunter, new Monk, new Necromancer, new Witch Doctor, or the new Wizard set. So you're going to get one of the new sets this season. Stone Gauntlets now drop for all classes. Thank you so much. It was so annoying having to have a Barbarian give you a set of Stone Gauntlets when you're playing classes like Demon Hunter or Witch Doctor or whatever class that you're going to throw your Stone Gauntlets on. Paragon bonus gold find has been changed to gold pickup radius. Wow, that's pretty flippin' awesome, man. That's really, really cool. I wonder if this is going to soft cap or if this is going to be in addition to things like Avarice Band and other pickup radius items. This would be really good for like Globe Barbs, for gold find builds, T16 builds. That's really, really cool, actually. I like that change quite a bit. New item changes. All right, now we're getting into the meat of the phase 1. There's a brand new item called Gelmindor's Morrow Guards. I don't know if I said that right, but Bone Spirit cast from Simulacrums deal 400 to 500 increased damage. I'm assuming these are going to be bracers because they're guards. So there's some new Necro bracers for Simulacrums. It's going to basically increase the damage of the new set. So that could be cool. Ivory Tower. Rapid multiple blocks will now scale damage for Fires of Heaven up to a maximum of 2.5 times damage. So this Ivory Tower shield is in the new Holy Shotgun set. It's one of the variants that you can run. And when you block something, you will automatically cast Fires of Heaven, I believe. So this is going to increase the damage on that. That didn't say anything about changing the amount of times it procs. So this just looks like a straight buff to Ivory Tower. Mantle of Channeling. They removed the 1 second startup before the power takes effect. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. This is something they added when they nerfed Star Pact Wizard as a way to completely get rid of Star Pact Wizard, the 150 metas when they first became a thing, Bazooka Wizard specifically. And I hated this change because it affected every other class and it still didn't even break the build. So I'm glad that this got reverted. Basically, this is just reverted back to its original form. Etch Sigil has gotten changed a little bit. Let's see. While channeling Arcane Torrent, Disintegrate, Ray of Frost, the damage of your Energy Twister is increased by 200 to 250%, and you also cast Energy Twister every second. So Etch Sigil got a complete rework. Let's pull up the old Etch Sigil and see what it used to be for comparison. It says, the old version says, while channeling Arcane Torrent, Disintegrate, Ray of Frost for at least 1 second, the damage of your Arcane Spenders is increased, and you also cast one of your other damaging Arcane Spenders every second. So what this change really did, it took off the ability for it to buff every other item, and it really just focuses on Energy Twister. It's going to increase its damage by 200 to 250%, and you're also going to cast Energy Twister for free while you're channeling Arcane Torrent, Disintegrate, or Ray of Frost. So this is really going to start to focus that into an Energy Twister build. Fragment of Destiny. Your signature spells attack 50% faster and deal triple damage. You gain a spectral buff whenever you land an attack with a signature spell. Hydras deal 25 to 30% increased damage for each spectral stack. max stacks is 10, so you're going to deal up to 300% more damage. You're going to get the buff. I'm assuming the spectral buff is a stack. So every time you land an attack, you're going to get the stacks that are going to increase your damage from Fragmented Destiny. Let's pull up the old Fragmented Destiny and check it out real quick. So the old Fragmented Destiny said Spectral Blade attacks 50% faster and deals 179% increased damage. It goes from 107 or 150 to 200. So on top of getting the 50%, you still get the 50%. It's going to be triple damage now instead of just a flat percentage base. And then you're going to get the spectral buff, which is going to increase Hydra. So this is primarily going to be a Hydra. Looks like they're trying to get some more damage into your Hydras. Valfex Rebuke. Energy Twister now travels in a straight path and deals 300 to 400% increased damage. This is a pretty, this is going with the Etch Sigil. So it looks like they're really focusing on an Energy Twister build. They're going to go in a straight line, which is pretty cool because you can actually control where they go. That's one of the downsides to Energy Twister is that you would try to pin enemies in corners where the twisters had nowhere to go and they would actually hit enemies. So 300 to 400% from this item, 250% from the Etch Sigil. Winter's Flurry. Enemies killed by cold damage have a 25% chance to release a Frost Nova. Your Hydra deals 125 to 150% increased damage to enemies in a blizzard. So Winter's Flurry is gonna synergize really well with cold Hydras. It's gonna freeze them with Frost Nova when something dies, and you're gonna get an extra 150% damage to enemies that are inside of a blizzard. It's pretty cool. Wizard Spike says performing an attack has a 25% chance to hurl a frozen orb. Arcane Orb deals 300 to 350% increased damage. Let's take a look at the old Wizard Spike really quick. The old Wizard Spike had a 20 to 25% chance to hurl a frozen orb, and that was it. So what they've done to it is they gave it a 25% chance baseline now, the maximum, and Arcane Orb just deals 350% more damage. Delcier's Magnum Opus 6-piece bonus got a damage buff from 8,500% to 12,500%. Typhoon's Veil got a 6-piece bonus increase of 700%. Nervold's Fervor got a 2-piece bonus damage from 100 to 400. A Khan set piece 6-piece bonus went from 1,500 to 2,000. Roland's Legacy 4-piece bonus went from 13,000 to 17,500. Seeker of Light got a 6-piece buff to the Blessed Hammer bonus from 12,000 to 15,000. Belt of the Trove. Every 4 seconds, call down a bombardment on a random nearby enemy. Bombardment deals 400 to 500% increased damage. Let's check out the old belt and see what they've changed. The old Belt of the Trove, every 7 seconds, call down a bombardment on a random nearby enemy. It used to be 6 to 8 seconds random rolled, and now it's going to be every 4 seconds. So they've cut the time down quite a bit, and it also deals increased damage. So quite a bit of a buff right there for Crusaders. Mortal Drama, double the number of bombardment impacts, and bombardment deals another 400 to 500 increased damage. Again, they're juicing up bombardment quite a bit. Monojuma's Way, Angry Chicken explosion damage increased from 400% to 2,000. So Angry Chicken is definitely back. Speed Chicken, Turbo Chicken, whatever build name you want to use, that's going to be a thing. The Arachner set got a 6-piece damage bonus from 9,000 to 17,500. That's a pretty big buff. Helltooth got a 6-piece bonus from 9,000 to 17,500. Scrimshaw reduces the managed cost of Zombie Charger by 75% and increases its damage by 6 to 7 times. So Zombie Bears looks like it's maybe going to be a thing we can work out. I don't know. We'll have to see. In his mantra, the 6-piece bonus damage from 750 to 950. Shilong Spirit, the damage bonus from 200 to 350. Gundo Gear, Exploding Palm's On Death Explosion applies Exploding Palm, and Exploding Palm's damage is increased by 75 to 100. That doesn't seem like it's a huge buff to me. What was the old one? Let's look up Gundo Gear. The old Gundo Gear, Exploding Palm's On Death Explosion applies Exploding Palm. So I guess what they did is they just added the 75 to 100% damage for Exploding Palm. I was really hoping to get more Exploding Palm juice this season, so that's a little sad, but you know, there's always next season. or maybe more future PTR updates. And then Blade of the Tribe, this is the Leapquake Barbarian weapon. Warcry and Threatening Shout cause Avalanche and Earthquake. Avalanche and Earthquake both deal 150 to 200% increased damage. And if we look at the old Blade of the Tides, it used to be that they just both caused an Avalanche and an Earthquake. So what they've done is they've buffed up the damage by 150 to 200%. The rest for the PTR just says how to participate. So that's the PTR, guys. What an interesting set of things. The seasonal theme looks like it could be pretty cool, man. Spawning a shadow clone to fight by you. There's definitely going to be some RNG in there. On top of having RNG to get the pylons, now you're going to have a RNG as to which of the 3 specs your shadow clone decides to use. Some will probably be better than others. Some classes may even be better than others. So we'll have to see how this is balanced and how this works out, and if it's super broken OP or if it's not very important at all. But it's still an interesting seasonal theme, and this isn't something that I was expecting at all. But that's pretty cool. I'm pretty excited to test that out. We're going to get that part on the phase 2 of the PTR, not in the initial phase. The initial phase is really just going to focus on the sets. And if we look at the sets that, it looks like we're going to be testing the Crusader Steed Charge with the bombardment buffs. We'll see if that's something that works. That could be some really sick T16 builds. The Energy Twister buff for the Wizards. So we'll have to see how that one plays out. And then, of course, it looks like maybe some Zombie Bear variants are going to come out of this too. So I know a lot of you Witch Doctor fans have been screaming for Zombie Bears for a long time. And then Turbo Chicken is finally back. It's going to be a super viable T16 build. I don't see how it wouldn't have enough damage at least to destroy some T16. So that'll be a very, very fast, very efficient T16 build. So we'll get into it, man. PTR drops Thursday, October the 1st. Make sure you guys play it. Make sure you come check the channel back once we get to deep dive a little bit more into these PTR notes and see, what things and have time to analyze this a little bit better. Thanks for hanging out. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe, hit the follow button. We're going to be streaming some Diablo 3 tonight. We stream Diablo 3 all the time on twitch.tv/the Pchild. Come check the channel out. We stream 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. The stream schedule is in the description below, so go check it out. I will catch you guys for future PTR update videos very, very soon. Peace.